Amber Heard could face perjury charges over 2016 pistol and boot debacle after details of the incident were dredged up in her ex-husband Johnny Depp's libel case against The Sun. Amber Heard under investigation for perjury by Australian authorities following alleged dog smuggling incident. The actress is currently under investigation by the Department of Agriculture, Water and the Environment after an ex-employee of Depp's claimed in court he was forced to lie under oath about her dog's illegal entry into Queensland. A departmental spokesperson told Newscom that AU on Wednesday the department is investigating if any criminal offenses under Commonwealth legislation have been committed relating to the testimony provided to the High Court in London. Because of the nature of those inquiries, we are unable to provide a timeline. In a witness statement provided to a London court earlier this year, he claimed he told her several times that their miniature Yorkshire Terriers were not allowed to enter the state. However, Sasha was QC acting for The Sun defended Heard and said she never asked you to lie. I suggest that you are lying. You have presented this issue of the dogs in a misleading way in an attempt to discredit Ms. Heard. Wask asked Murphy, Ms. Heard never asked you to make a false statement in the Australian proceedings relating to the dogs. Heard became embroiled in one of the most bizarre political scandals in history 4 years ago after she joined her then husband on Queensland's Gold Coast via private jet, dogs in tow, while he was filming Pirates of the Caribbean. The Aquaman star is being investigated for perjury by Australian authorities in regards to a 2015 alleged dog smuggling incident after Heard jetted off to Australia without declaring their two terrier pups. Her dogs, Pistol and Boo, were not only supposed to be properly declared to customs in official paperwork before flying to Australia, but they were also required to spend 10 days in quarantine prior to arriving in the country. Australia is free of many pests and diseases that are commonplace around the world. That is why Australia has to have such strong biosecurity laws. Heard said in an apology recorded alongside ex-husband Johnny Depp, "I'm truly sorry that Pistol and Boo were not declared. Protecting Australia is important." Now the Australian authorities are revisiting the case in light of a new information which implies Heard committed perjury. According to Daily Mail, the Department of Agriculture, Water and the Environment has enlisted the help of the FBI to procure witnesses of the incident. The new information came via Kevin Murphy, Depp's estate manager, who stated that the stepfather's star knew very well that she was doing was illegal and chose to do it anyway. I also explained to Ms. Heard several times that the fact that trying to take the dogs into Australia without completing the mandatory process was illegal and could result in very harsh penalties, including euthanizing the dogs. The 59-year-old state manager said, also alleging Heard implied he should lie in court. When I expressed that I was extremely uncomfortable with this, Mr. Heard said to me, "Well, I want your help on this. I wouldn't want you to have problem with your job." He went on noting it was very apparent that the DC alum was threatening his job security. As far as Heard's option, if the investigation turns into perjury charges, an insider dish, the mother of one could either never return to Australia or she could go face the music, but a huge number of movies are shot in Australia, including Aquaman, the movie for which she most well known, they spilled to the outlet. Alternatively, Amber could go back there and face her detractors. The insider continued, adding that sort of thing is often her style, and that she's not one for backing down in the face of legal threats. In a UK exclusive interview, the star explained how her new TV series, based on a Stephen King novel, forced her to ask questions about being faced with unbelievable circumstances and incredible adversity and everything being on the line. Eerily prescient, the stand is about a flu which kills 99% of the population and a power struggle of good and evil. Filming on the show finished in March just before the COVID-19 pandemic took hold. Heard, who plays one of the survivors of the outbreak, says despite the bizarre timing, nothing could have prepared her for the reality of 2020, a year in which she has faced many challenges. The 34-year-old actress became headline news this summer when she appeared as the Sun's star witness in her ex-husband Johnny Depp's high-profile libel case against the newspaper. At the moment, Heard cannot say too much about how relieved and vindicated she must feel, as Depp has replied to appeal the judgment and is also suing her in the US over a separate Washington Post article written 2 years ago. If the Virginia trial goes ahead, it's currently scheduled for May 2021. Both will face the media circus all over again. Heard tells Sky News, "Nothing could have prepared me for 2020. Let's face it, I don't think I'm alone in saying that. I don't think anything could have prepared me." In a year that has seen havoc on film and TV sets around the world, putting a stop to most productions, the stand is timely, she says, given that they managed to wrap just in the nick of time. "We stopped filming at the end of March. Luckily, it was at the end of filming, but still I had to go do reshoots later when the thing started to open back up again. So it is ironic that we had to stop filming on our show about a global pandemic and a power struggle of good and evil in a government and society that will shut down after a pandemic right before one. It's really interesting timing." Heard plays Nadine Cross, and while fans may know what to expect from the character, for those unfamiliar with the story, she starts off a total mystery. That's exactly what drew me to Nadine. Her complexity and inability to put her into a category or easily define her is exactly what I think makes her compelling and made her the most interesting character for me to read, the actress says. "I don't want to play a character that's easy to understand or whose motivations are transparent. It's more interesting to play a character who is functioning like many of us are behind several layers of masks that change depending on what our situation is and who we are dealing with. And Nadine is like that on steroids. The stakes are really high for her and everything's on the line. So that was a challenge, but exactly why I was drawn to her." Johnny had taken legal action against Owners News Group Newspapers, or NGN, and its then executive editor Dan Wooden over the column, which referred to overwhelming evidence he attacked his 34-year-old ex-wife several times during their relationship. Depp has always strenuously denied Heard's allegations and has not been charged with a criminal offense. However, in the civil case, Judge Anthony Cole found the article was substantially true. Requesting permission to appeal at a hearing held earlier in March, the star's lawyer argued that he had not received a fair trial and said they had fresh evidence about Heard, accusing her of lying about donating her full $7 million divorce settlement to charity.